everyone, it's Sarah from Apricot Polka Dot, and today I'm going to show you how to make a forest of tiny pom-pom trees. So these are pom-poms on top of tiny real wood stumps, and they're super cute, and I just want to have one in every single color. And really the key to these is all in how you trim it. So let's get going. For this project, you're going to need a skein of yarn, a pom-pom maker in any size, a pair of scissors, a hot glue gun, and some tiny wooden stumps. So these I actually purchased at a craft store. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby, and they came in a little package. They're already cut like this. You also could use like a wooden spool. Those look adorable on the bottoms of trees. Or you could go outside, grab a branch that you cut down from your tree and cut it into smaller little discs to make your bases for your trees. However you want to do it, you just need to get some little wooden base for your trees. So we'll move these things out of the way, and we'll need those in a minute. But to begin, we just need our pom-pom maker and our yarn. So we are going to make a pom-pom just as I make in my making the pom-pom video that you can find from my YouTube channel. And it's called Making a Perfect Pom-Pom. So I'm going to get started with that, and then we will come back and start trimming. Okay, so now we have our finished, well, it's not finished because it's not trimmed, but we have our fresh off the Pom Pom Maker pom-pom. So now what we're going to do is trim this into a tree shape. So I sort of like to fluff it out a little and look for where a natural tree shape might be. Now to me, this looks like it would be like a good top point to our tree, and then this probably would be like the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to trim down one side and then another to sort of give it a more triangular shape. And if you like your trees more full and fluffy and not quite as perfect, you can do that too. This is the part where anything you want it to look like can come into play. This is where you can give it your personality. So we have kind of a point now, and of course I'm going to tidy all this up in a minute. But now we need to also give it a kind of a flat bottom spot for our tree stump to sit. So we just kind of want to trim like straight across down there. And then I just sort of start going around and touching it up while keeping that triangular but roundish shape. You don't want it to be like just straight triangle, because that's not how trees are. Trees are not like two-dimensional. You know, they have dimension, and they're not perfectly triangular. So we want to make sure it still has some rounded shape, just like a tree would. I also want to point out the type of yarn. I just actually used an acrylic yarn. It's really an inexpensive yarn. It's not fancy. I'm sure you could use a fancier, more expensive variety as well. For this, I think any cheap yarn works great. Acrylic is a fantastic thing for these little tiny trees. Okay, so we're starting to get a pretty good little shape here for our tree. Slide that out of the way so you can sort of see what we have here. It's a little round. It's got a little bit of a full bottom, but it's looking pretty good. I think that looks great. So just keep going until you're satisfied. Again, if you want to like leave more of the branches kind of sticking out, you can kind of pull some out like that, but I don't really. I'm just going to make mine sort of flat there. Now we're going to hot glue one of our little tree stumps to this tree. So I'm going to use just one of these little wood cylinders, and sometimes you need to pull some of the actual bark off, like I just pulled off a little piece, just so it stands flat. And then we're going to just put a dab of hot glue right onto there, and then we're going to stick it to the bottom of our tree. And you just want to make sure you kind of press all around so that it can stick to as many. We'll pull off some of these hot glue strings. You want it to stick to as many of the like individual fibers as possible to make it so that it will hold well. And once you have that glued, you may even see that you need to trim a little bit more just to tidy it up. And then you're going to want to make sure that it actually stands up when you set it down. So here's the test. Will it stand? It stands on its own, which is fantastic, and that's what we're going for. And you can see it from the profile shot too. It looks really cute even from the side with its cute little profile and its cute little tree trunk. So anyway, that is really all there is to it. Just a little bit of trimming can turn this pom-pom into a darling little tree. And you can have a whole forest of trees in every color of the rainbow with just a little bit of yarn, a little bit of hot glue. And you can make these for fall and winter, great like Christmas and fall decor. But anyway, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Apricot Polka Dot, and you can follow me on Instagram at Apricot Polka Dot as well.